Hello, thanks for joining me. We are going to tool up this small corner piece out of the leather tooling pattern book tonight. And that pattern, I just got done transferring that off. Like always, that's taped on the back to prevent stretching or wet down there on the leather. I taped over my pattern front and back to protect that as I transferred that over with a stylus. And now it is time, we're going to go ahead and cut this in. So just like we've been working through here on some of the patterns, we're going to continue all the patterns that I have available and show you start to finish how I carve those out. So whether you're catching this live here on the 23 Plus Facebook page or whether you're catching the replay on YouTube, I appreciate you taking your time to watch this. And I invite you to share that out as well. If you know anybody else that actually does leather work and wants to see this or would be interested in it, I'm all about helping anybody out, getting started, and answer any questions I can. So feel free to shoot that out there, and we'll see if we can impact some people with what we're doing here. I also encourage you, if you're liking what you're seeing and you're wanting to catch some more of this stuff, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification stuff, all the cool bells and whistles. You know the buttons to hit, whichever platform you're on, so go ahead and do that so you don't miss any chance to watching these videos when we come on and show these. A couple things to note when I'm running that knife too. I'm starting those cuts deep, but then fading out as I pull those lines down. Okay. I love this pattern too. It's a very simple vinework type of corner piece, but as you're going to see here, there's a few elements to it that can really make this pattern stand out. And be a pretty eye-catching deal for some simple vine work. And hopefully you might learn a few techniques that you can use in not only this pattern, but some of your other patterns as well. So at the time that this is getting filmed here, I'm actually just getting finished up with the next online course that's going to be distributed out. Really excited about that getting released, and that should be released really within the next day or two, if all goes as planned. And if you are interested in finding out about that, we're getting notifications when I have a new course or pattern being released. Be sure to let me know. Get me your email address. I'd love to get you on the email list so you don't miss those notifications as well. Thank you everybody taking your time to join us here live on Facebook. I see you as you're popping in. I hope everybody is enjoying their evening tonight. I know with some of the mandates around different states, people may be spending a little extra time home than what they had anticipated doing right now. So hopefully you're finding good stuff to keep you busy, and maybe learning how to do some leather work is it. And if that's the case, then I'm super excited about your journey and spending some time on your leather work. and hopefully I can help you out with things as you're coming along there. As I walk that bevel around, just like I was talking about fading those lines as I was cutting them, I'm fading these lines out when I bevel them as well. You can kind of hear that as you see me coming along there. You can see or hear the difference as you see me work my way around there, where I start hitting that a lot lighter. All right, I'm going to spin this around here. And one thing to note too, if you're ever having trouble with your bevel lines being smooth, watch as I walk this around here. In between hits, I'm not moving that very far. When I get going full speed, it looks like I'm just running it right along there, but I'm actually moving that just a little bit every time that I hit that mallet down. But by moving those little tiny steps, instead of trying to move it in big increments as I go, makes it a lot easier to get a smooth line in there. We're getting just about done with the beveling here. A few more lines to go, and then we can get into a couple of the fun things that make this pattern really stand out and eye-catching for being relatively simplistic. This is a great one too if you're doing little notepad covers or Bible covers or anything like that, and just want to touch off a little piece in the corner and then bring more attention to like a brand or initials or something like that. This can be a little more understated in the corner. So I see some comments coming in asking how narrow that is that beveler. This bevel here is roughly probably a 1/4 inch wide, maybe just a hair more than that, but it's not super big. Oops, tried to not kick the camera over there. Apologize about that. I like it. It's a really universal size bevel. I can tip it up on end and get around some tighter corners, but it's wide enough that I can run and get a pretty long line done in not too long a time. Okay, now that's there. I'm gonna come back with my vertical line thumbprint. This tool here I really like because we're going to start getting some of the shading in with this tool, and we're going to see the burnishing from the moisture in that leather really come out here. I'm going to tip that up on end and roll it as I come around here. And here we fade that out there, softening the lines so we don't get a hard line on the inside there. Now, not everybody's going to run their tools like this. Some put just one big hard print out there in the end. And that's just kind of a different style and different opinions on running that. Everybody's going to do stuff a little bit different and have it look a little bit different. And that's all right. That's why it's art, right? Okay. I'm going to come back under here where that's coming underneath and shadow that a little bit. And also right here where that fold over is, I'm going to get down in there, that other end. Now we can start getting some definition, that rolling over top of there. Some of these folds and rollovers here is what can really make this simple pattern kind of pop out. And that's something I just got done filming. One of the videos in the Fundamentals of Drawing Patterns course is about folding and rolling that stuff, and we were talking about just the versatility in that and how you can really make a pattern unique in simply folding a few things over and add a lot more dimension to what you have going on. You can almost see where I'm leaving that little ridge right around the outside there. A little one right there too. I'm just going to help highlight those petals and show that line off a little bit more. Up here, where this kind of has that flat on the outside, I'm going to actually come on both sides and create a little bit of a ridge right there in the center. So by running that down, I'll show you the steps that I do here. So I have that ran down inside and the outside, but I'm going to soften those lines just a little bit when I roll this over there. Oops, not to hit the camera again. There we go. So we just leave that subtle ridge right down that center. Fade this one down just a little bit more. That's the neat thing about patterns too, is you can give the same pattern to 100 different people, tell them all to tool it, and you're going to get 100 different looks, I think, because everybody's going to have their own interpretations of what those patterns are. And it's been fun to see people in the books on how they interpret that and how they tool those. But so this is simply my take on the patterns here. You know, obviously this is what I had in mind when I drew them, but you can take that and do whatever you want with it. Somebody's asking the size on the Berry King beveler, that XX steep bevel that I have right there, and I believe that's a size 0. I believe that's the second to the smallest one. I'm not completely positive because it's not marked on the tool, and it's been a while since I bought that tool, but I believe that's the size. Now I'm going to come back with this little round bevel. And this is what I really like, some of the spots on this pattern here. We're going to get some definition and really stand this up. This is where some people may use a lifter, and I went to using this little round bevel, and I really enjoy it. It's got the checkering on there, so it's still going to kind of blend with my beveling on the outside pretty well. We can get in underneath the insides of all of our curves. Now, especially in these couple spots where we're folded over, watch how good this gets in here. Get down there, add a little more pressure. There we go. Look what that does to that. Doesn't that bring a ton of definition to that fold over there? Same thing up here. I'm just going to roll around on the inside of that curve. You can see it just picking that lip up right there on the edge. See, it's the small things that make a big difference, right? Just the little tiny stuff. On the inside of that curve, and a couple more over here we're going to do. Look at those starting to stand up. It brings that stuff right up off the leather there. All right, final two steps here. We're gonna run our bar grounder, and then we'll finish out with our decorative cuts. Hello. Appreciate all you guys jumping on here live and catching me. Quite a few of you there. Whether you're catching me live on Facebook or you're watching the replay on YouTube, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos and share them out. Hopefully we can help more people come to enjoy this leather craft business. You know, sometimes the learning curve can be a little bit rough and you can lose your joy in a hurry when things get frustrating. So hopefully we can make things a little less frustrating and it'll make it a little easier for you to hang on to some of that joy, because that's the idea, right? You gotta enjoy what we're doing. All right, I'll work my way around here. And you notice on these outside edges where I just tip that and put a little bit in the corners there. And what we're doing is just adding a little bit of definition there, because then when we come in with our oil or finish stuff, it'll just really highlight and stand that pattern up even that much more where we don't have a hard cut border out here. All right. Couple more spots we're gonna do that with, and you see that tip that tool and really fade that out. So again, you wouldn't have to do that. It's a matter of the little things, right? The little things add up to the big picture. Okay. Now our bar grounder's done. Final step. This is my favorite. Drum roll. Okay. Decorative cuts. Let's bring them in here. We're going to start deep. Fade them down in there. There's definitely not a right or wrong on your decorative cuts. You just got to remember that you're looking to add flow to your pattern. And it's going to help add a little bit of depth there. And fade those along. Thank you. I see some of the hearts and thumbs up rolling in there. I appreciate the encouragement. Lets me know that you guys are enjoying what we're doing and that there's value in these videos. So I want to keep those coming to you. I'll touch off just a little bit underneath this fold here as well. Okay, there we have it. Corner piece pattern. Just like everything in the shop here, we're kind of striving for that 23 plus mark of excellence. So we're just gonna go ahead and lay that right in there for you. But appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this. One of the other big questions I get is, where do you get your maker's mark at? I got this particular one from Steel Stamps Inc. They're out of Boise. Tim Purdy was awesome to work with. So if you're looking for one of those, that's where I got that. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. Again, like, subscribe, notifications, all the buttons. Hit them and share that out so we don't miss more videos as we come up. We're going to continue to work through all of the patterns that I have for sale on the website, 23plus.com, and show you exactly how I tool those from start to finish. And also, if you want in on notifications for upcoming classes, we have the Fundamentals of Drawing Patterns coming up, Beginner's Guide to Floral Carving. Those are the next couple online courses that will be coming out. Be sure and get me your email and we'll get you on that list. So have a good evening. Stay safe.